Hello and welcome to the show. This is the in memorandum for David Johansen. Um, this is also a. I'm going to be talking about a recap of the trans youth rally today in Ballard. I feel like I feel like it's okay that those. I feel like David Johansen would be okay with sharing his episode with that. I would be playing some. I will be playing various New York Dolls, David Johansen, Sylvain. I'll tell a few stories, but full disclosure, especially now, I'm thinking I don't actually know a lot about David Johansen as an individual. I am not a deeply obsessive into the history of the New York Dolls. I know a bit. I am a huge fan, and we will be playing off of the Dolls all eras. This is off of 2011's Dancing Backward in High Heels. Um, and I actually really like this album, though. Did I say? I'm sorry. This is called "You Don't Have to Cry." Um, um, I love this album. I love all their albums. Uh, and like I said, we'll be playing from all of them. This is 2000. I want to say six. Is that right? Yeah. Someday it will please us to remember even this. Um, and then of course the classic Dolls era. Whoops. Sorry, my bad. Classic Dolls era. And then some other New York Dolls adjacent music. Like I said, my dad, I don't have a lot of New York Dolls anecdotes. We'll look at the Wikipedia page, I guess. But no, my dad actually did, in passing, know David Johansen. He knew other people in his sphere, including, it turns out, his ex-wife. My dad is a board member at Max's Kansas City. Oh, and yeah, like I said, we're going to be weaving back and forth between talking about David Johansen. I am going to talk a little bit about the trans rally, which brought to you by Chapel Row. We will not only be playing, I guess, Max's Kansas City era New York proto-punk. We'll play some other things. We'll definitely play some Against Me at some point. Shout out to the marching band. I'm just going to start there. Shout out to the marching band. But no, okay. So, like I said, mostly we're just vibing to David Johansen and the New York Dolls. We're not necessarily doing a deep dive into him, but who he is as a human being is important, and we'll touch upon that. But no, like I said, my dad actually knew his ex-wife. No, my dad was part of that whole thing. My dad has a whole anecdote it's set in Marcia Trinder, she was a costume designer. She factors into my stories only because my obsession with Robin to this day is because, of course, she's going to design a costume for her son's friend. The friend is going to be Robin. To this day, I'm obsessed with Robin. It was perfect, actually. I'm definitely more of a Robin than a Batman anyway. In any event, I had, very early Halloween high expectations because a professional costume designer designed one of my early costumes, which I kept for years until it was like shreds and just wore it as regular clothes, probably to school, which is... And I'm still like, why did they think I was weird? This is I'm So Fabulous by the New York Dolls. Again, off of Dancing Backwards in High Heels, which is off of 429 Records and I Heart Riots Records. Is that right? Actually, I think it's going to be Fabulous Rant and I'm So Fabulous. I'm sorry. So, yeah. While anything I could possibly have to say, I never met Dave Johansen, unlike Gene Hackman. I mentioned this is not going to be a news episode. I may not be able to resist, but take a peek at Oscar somethings by the end of this episode, because by the end of this episode, I don't watch award shows generally, but by the end of this episode, some of the categories may have been announced. I do know that there's a 2-minute Gene Hackman tribute planned. Gene Hackman I actually met personally. I waited on him and his wife at the old Santa Fe Bookstore and Bistro in Santa Fe, New Mexico, years ago, decades ago. But no, David Johansen, all my accounts are second and third hand. That being said, the dad show, I do a show with my dad. It's it's basically just our weekly Zoom call that I record and upload as the MF show. But starting, I would say, if this is interesting to you, the last 3 episodes of our winter season, I want to say episodes 6, 7, 8, but don't hold me to that, wherein my dad first asked me if I knew that David Johansen had stage 4 cancer. We both knew. It's probably not going to be long. Stage 4, like this took you by surprise if you were like, oh no, wait, how's Dave Coulier doing? Lots of, I don't want to minimize, lots of people get cancer, but when someone says they have stage 4 cancer, that's serious. And so, and sometimes it could mean months and months, but sometimes it often does just mean weeks. And so there's that episode where, and then I think that's the episode where he tells the story about going to see Sylvain, David Johansen's New York Dolls bandmate, performed solo, and David Johansen happened to be there at Martha Trinder's house or apartment. We will be playing something off of David Johansen's. I think this is Talk to Me, Baby. Whatever it is, I'm going to play it out. And then we're going to play something else. And so if you want to hear that story, I basically just told it. But if you want to hear it, from the person who was there, there's that one. And then, yeah, my dad, I guess just from reading obituaries and things, just figured out that he knew David Johansen's wife, but mostly just in passing also. But I guess she was a model and a something else, an agent or a man. I don't know. She was a part-time model. I don't think I'll be playing Flight of the Conchords, but I might. You never know. What we will do at some point is I'm just going to open up images and search David Johansen. We'll just look at pictures of him because he is so fabulous. And did I say and costume changes? Yeah, no, in true glam, punk, queer fashion, I promise at some point there will probably be costume changes. And let's talk about we'll be playing some lady, I don't know why I sighed, and some Lady Gaga. So having reported the last couple of prides, I think the Born This Way grip, because it felt for a decade, everywhere, not just at Pride, but Seattle's Pride is, the Western Washington's Pride is a months-long event that starts in Seattle and goes down to Tacoma. And I see all of y'all. Like, more and more of us are, they put on a rockin' Pride event and we'll show up. It even goes on into Snohomish, and now with the light rail, we'll see if I head up there. I say even. But when we talk about, we'll get to the Ballard and I have nothing against Ballard. Magnolia is a different story, which I was in today for the first time in literal decades, and that was... I almost took a different bus. When I realized I was being routed through... when I realized I was being routed through Magnolia, I was like, oh, no. And then the other bus that I could have taken that would have gone straight through... I took the 24 through Magnolia, but I could have taken the 28. First of all, I really didn't trust it. I was like, you can just walk from... I don't believe you can just walk from Magnolia to Ballard. In my mind, I thought there was like a whole... bodies of water, like because of the... but I guess, the body of water is the shipping canal. And I didn't realize you can just, and the locks is how you can cross the shipping canal, but I didn't realize you could just walk right on up into not Wallingford, into Magnolia. Not that I'll ever go to Magnolia again. I had a total jump scare where, like, the last person I want to see, it wasn't this person, but you know those little overlooks that they have in Magnolia? If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, where people, like, park their cars and whatever they do, but I guess I was like, these look like places for teenagers to make out and for people to shoot up drug spots. And Magnolia seems like the place that would not encourage those kinds of things, but I guess it's just middle-aged neighbors chatting with each other. Anyway, I saw a short bearded individual and had a total and then I was like, okay, I'm on a bus. The last place this fucking snob would ever be in the history. I guarantee you they've lived in Seattle for decades, I think decades longer than I have, and they have never ridden any form of public transportation once. I can absolutely guarantee it. So I was like, you're safe in your little bus. But I did, and I don't think it was them. But I really didn't want to be in Magnolia. Okay. Are we already talking about that? Oh, am I already going to play that? No, we're not going to go there yet. We're going to stay with David Johansen for a minute. I'm sorry, and adjacent. This is You Can't Put Your Arms Around a Memory. This is Johnny Thunders. We are going to play some Velvet Underground from live at Max's Kansas City, but not Sunday morning. Which would pair really well with what I did today, which was the protest. But and I usually play Sunday mornings on Sunday. So I had previously reported the last few years, it felt like finally the strangle grip of Born This Way was over Pride, in the sense that you didn't hear it everywhere, at every, blaring from every speaker, out of every bar, all Pride Month. I heard it twice, maybe 3 times a day. That's fine. The last time was actually appropriate. The whole actual rally ended at Ballard Commons with a dance party. And what the wild thing, especially what I noted, some of the younger people around me know this song. I'm like, this song is before you were okay. Yeah, but I guess I'm glad it's still meaning and resonating, but just ignore that. Just ignore the bridge. That it's embarrassing. It has not aged well. Oh. This is Diary of a Lover. I'm going to play this out. This is I'd Rather Be With the Boys. I'm sorry, this is Diary of a Lover. Obviously not You Can't Put Your Arms Around a Memory. Followed by I'd Rather Be With the Boys and You Can't Put Your Arms Around a Memory. But no, like I said, it was a Pink Pony Club. Like I said, the marching band played Hot to Go twice. The marching band played. The song is called True Trans Soul Rebel. Okay, off of True Trans is the name of the 45. But Against Me. This is not going to be a super long episode, I don't think. Well, I always say that, and then hours later. Okay, no, we'll get back to David Johansen, that whole scene, early New York proto-punk, Max's Kansas City, CBGB's, Cafe Wa, there were a bunch of places, and a loose knit group of artists. Blondie was there, Bruce Springsteen was there. That's the one I was like, oh. But Andy Warhol was there, Keith Haring was there. At various times. Keith Haring would have been way too young in the 70s, actually. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway. All right. So, of course, gotta always start by making it about me. When the morning came in, actually, I despite the fact that I went out last night, I've been out. I'm so tired. I've been out quite a bit this weekend. Sorry, doggies. But yeah, I actually went out Thursday night to see Pigeon Pit with Foot Ox at the Vera. I really had to make myself, and I'm glad I did. It was 100% worth it. And like literally my one. Okay. Sorry, that was. Sorry, I just love this song. But yeah, no. So and then on Saturday last night, I went to see Kelsey. I don't know. Actually, I have to look it up. And the Heroines. Let me look it up. Come on, that's rude. They were very good. I really enjoyed them. The only thing that was missing, no David Johansen tribute. I would think any artist performing in the punk, maybe someone already had earlier in the evening. And actually, I came in, they were already playing. I missed the beginning of their set, and I missed the opening act. So maybe that had all happened. Let me not make any assumptions. It's Kelsey Carter. It is Carter. Kelsey Carter and the Heroines. They're listed as an Aussie-British rock and roll band. Global success, whose debut album Missing Persons was critically acclaimed. Okay. I got the tickets for free with Do More. I didn't really know who they were. I liked them. The album was $40 and I wasn't having it, but I did get 2 Pigeon Pit albums, which were $20 each, and now I have all 4. So I think this is chronological order. Chronological to when they actually originally came out, not when they were released or released on vinyl. This is the second pressing. This came out in 2017, but it was not pressed on vinyl and as a cassette only, and it was not pressed until 2023 on vinyl. This was 2016. This is probably still their most famous, I think. And then Crazy Arms just came out literally 2 weeks ago or something. Oops. I bump that mic so often. Let's play a little bit more of the man of the hour. This is David Johansen, something off of his solo. Oh, wild. Huh. I didn't realize. Okay, so Funky But Chic did. It wasn't performed as a New York Dolls song until 2011, but David Johansen had it as a solo song. When did this come out? This is 1982. I'm seeing who his backing band is. Tony Machine on Tambla. Okay. Oh. All right, this is solo David Johansen performing Stranded in the Jungle and Personality Crisis. Oh, I lied. Sunday Morning is on here. Should I play it? Now I'm kind of partial towards beginning to see the light. personality crisis. Sorry. All of that was a, yeah, I am tired. All of that was a preamble to, while I've been out a few nights in a row, I actually went to bed reasonably on time-ish, I don't know, 1 a.m. for a Saturday night. Woke up, I don't know, 8-ish, 8-ish, felt fine, but was still like, am I going to be in the mood to be at the light rail in an hour and a half? Somehow, got really bad Google Maps directions. I know, I said I was going to make it all about me. Was really indecisive about what I wanted to wear. Was pretty late to the light rail, and I was like, so does this mean I'm going to be missing? And then I was like, I'm sorry. The issue is, the protest started at noon, which is perfect, but Ballard is really, like I said, I actually like Ballard. I would go to Ballard more often. Ballard has a bunch of, I like the Sunset, I like the Comet, no, Comet's not in Ballard. There are others I can't, whatever. I like Ballard. And Fremont, but it's just too, it's prohibitively, I don't like, and most people, like the research suggests, most people won't do more than 2 transfers. And so in fact, today when I realized that I'd been routed in a really weird way, that I was like, wait, why am I taking this bus for 5 stops to this bus? Why didn't they just let me off at, I was mad. And I was like, how did this route even, like, did I say I didn't want to do any walking whatsoever? Like, but it did have walking, it's just in the wrong, literally in the wrong direction. Super confused. But I bypassed it, I did my own walking, and then I was like, I missed it by like 2 minutes, and then the bus came around the corner, so I just made it. Like I said, I had been debating, I'm not even going to go to Magnolia. I will wait an extra half an hour just for the 28, because to avoid having to go through Magnolia. But then it basically came right around the corner. I was like, okay, that's fate. That is, because I was really only going to, at that point I was like, whichever comes first, I'm getting on. And if it's the 28, even though I know the 24 is coming right after that, and sorry, I promise, this is like the most boring story in the world. It's, as most of mine are. Sorry. It won't get any more interesting when I get to the protest, by the way. No, I have some observations. No, I have some observations. We'll get there. I remembered on the bus, because I had scrambled to like get together. I didn't bring my headphones, so I was like, I'm low in entertainment. My phone battery was a little bit low, so I was like, I'm not really going to use my phone to scroll, nor should I be using it really to listen to music anyway, because I want to be able to have enough battery to record the whole protest, which I barely did, but I didn't really get the speeches. Um, so yeah, so I had started to say, as far as I know, it ended with Lady Gaga's Born This Way, but there may have been more dancing and more music after that. But I had left after a couple speeches because my battery had died. On the light rail, I realized, and that, oh, that was the other reason. I knew there was not going to be anywhere like commercial or anywhere to buy in Wallingford, and there wasn't. I, the industrial area that they were sending me to in Soto, which again was in the opposite direction of where I'm going and where the bus, I'm like, why are you sending me that direction to get on a bus to take the bus? When, yeah, I'm still so mad about that. Google is usually fine, but I don't know what it was. It was like an industrial area and there was no like convenience stores or anything. So I go the other way. I start to walk that way. I'm like, this feels wrong. I go back the other way. I'm like 15 minutes. I'm going to walk it. I bet I can walk it faster than 15 minutes waiting for the next bus to come. And then on the way, there's a convenience store. I'm looking around the store itself. I don't see masks. Then I see just like sort of, like hanging from the thing. And I was like, how much? He had to ask the other guy. They're talking back and forth in another language. At one point he grabs a lighter, like he's like, maybe we'll just ring it up as a lighter. And then finally he's just like $1. And I was like, yeah, fine. And then the next bus I was on, I wasn't sure, but for some reason I knew if I buy a mask, it will be, and it literally was overflowing. There were like masks all over the floor. It was only $1. I'm happy. It's fine. And I'm glad to have, yeah, well, and I would rather wear black than like basic blue, but, I know. I'm always like, I hate people who are snobs, and then I'm like this. All right, this is Velvet Underground. It is beginning to see the light. I am not playing Sunday morning at this exact moment, though. I reserve the right to. Um, this is the Velvets. No, so yeah, get on the bus. It's 31 stops, but it's actually 31 pretty quick stops. As it gets onto the, I have no observations around Interbay. That area seems, well, no, it's mostly the same. What did I notice? I thought I did notice something. But yeah, no, the taco time is still there. The Starbucks is still there. It's Interbay actually seems somewhat frozen in time, as it always kind of has. But yeah, no, my first panic moment was that like corkscrew into Magnolia. I was like, I hadn't done that in, like I said, decades, and like I'm like, oh my god, I'm really doing this. And I know, like, this is just a part of your own town that you don't. And why? Rich white people. That's it. That's my reason why I don't go there. Like I said, the bus is fast. It gets there. Yeah. And now I'm like, it's 12:09. I go down. Now I feel early. Yeah, I walk. It's actually, like I said, it's actually cool. You cross this like old wooden bridge from Wallingford. I keep saying Wallingford. I love Wallingford. Actually, Wallingford also, I wish were a little bit more accessible. But I love Wallingford. From Magnolia into Ballard. Then you're on. Yeah, no. Then I checked out the fish ladder. Is it that time? It's not that time of year, is it? But yeah, no. They said like baby salmon 10 to 3, but there were no baby salmon. Cross the locks itself. Um, and they said the protest was going to be at the Botanical Gardens, but they were actually right outside the fence. And as I was walking upon I could hear them chanting, and I knew where they were. I could see the, like, you know, they have like forest rangery. Are they actually like forest? Well, are they? Will the locks be closed next week because budget cuts? But they do have like Smokey the Bear type hats and outfits. But they looked a little bit panicky. They were talking something about the perimeter, but it mostly seemed any of the protests who were inside the locks were people who were either on their way to the protest or, I don't know, went in to find a bathroom, or like, yeah, the protesters weren't, if their fear were the protesters were going to invade the locks, that was not the plan ever. I knew it was headed to Ballard Commons, but I did not know the route. The route itself was interesting. No, I think there's a lot of things that they got really right with this protest. They're very coordinated. They're very organized. They did a lot of explaining and crowd control as far as explaining this is what we're going to be doing next. This is how we're going to do it. Which oftentimes they just rely on, like, they actually have a method for it where, like, I say it and then these people amplify it. But if you're not there close to where they are, it's like playing telephone, and then you're like, wait, what are we doing? What's going on? But they did a really good job of, it was a huge crowd. Okay, I'm sorry. It is Ballard, and I was not the only person who was like, why Ballard? And, or person I knew, people who I know just from other protests and from things, don't live in this area. And like I said, I don't really fuck with the north. Like, anything north of the Aurora Bridge is too far north for me. And I know, and I understand that my experiences are biased based on the fact that my kid went to private school there. I know that Ballard is hello working families. It's not Magnolia. It's not like beachfront houses. And I don't know. It's still just something that's a little bit more homogenous, it's been my experience, than other parts of Seattle. However, this crowd is very diverse. I did not anticipate that many children, and I should have, it being, well, a trans youth care rally. And I'm sorry, when I say children, I mean very young children. I expected to see a variety of adorable, I don't want to say this without sounding condescending, adorably gender non-conforming youth, which you see at these things, and it's, I'm like, these are the baby activists, woo woo. But I mean very young children, like 3 and 4 year olds. In fact, one of my favorite moments, and I wish they were clearly leaving the protest, they had 2 little boys in a wagon, one of whom was holding a sign, and I have a policy of not taking pictures specifically of children. Like, I'll take pictures of groups, and if children happen to be in that group, that's fine, but I'm not going to, like, zoom in and take a picture of the child. I didn't take a picture of it, but he was holding a sign that said puberty blockers save lives. And just coincidentally, as they're walking by me, I can hear him saying, and like I said, he's about 4 years old, "What does my sign say?" And I really wish I had heard his mom's response. Sorry, like, if you were thinking there was going to be a really good story there about, like, what did she say? Both as a nosy person and as an early learning educator, and as if someone's holding a sign, they should have a basic understanding of what that sign says. Otherwise, you are kind of using them as a prop, which is a right-wing accusation. I really wish I had heard. I would hope. What is the simplest? What? Okay, I don't know her answer. Here's what my answer would be. I am an early learning professional. What do you think of this? What does my sign say? Your sign says puberty blockers save lives. Puberty blockers are a type of medicine. That's all you need to say. They're a type of medicine. You don't need to explain anything. You don't need to explain anything about genders. You don't need to, that is how you explain it to a 4-year-old. You can. There's nothing wrong with talking to 4-year-olds about gender. But I'm saying, if you are like, how are you doing this without indoctrinating? what is the simplest answer to anything? And oftentimes, when a 3, 4, 5 year old asks you something, even something that sounds provocative, the answer that they want isn't I, or the answer I'm going to give you is going to be so boring. So, for instance, again, I was a toddler teacher and a preschool teacher for a decade. What's sex? That I word my answer. That word is used in a lot of different ways. What was the context? Context means what. How was it being used? And either they remember, and then I can, or they don't remember, or they remember, and you can tell on their face they remember the context that they heard this word, but they're not going to say it, and that kind of tells me they already know. So, or whatever, or they know enough that they don't need to be asking me, their teacher. They can go, or that is the answer I can give. You know what? That's actually, different families have like to talk about that topic in different ways. I'm going to invite you to talk to your mom and dad about that. That is, I mean, that is my teacher answer, but I try not to give that. But there are sensitive topics, and it's not my values. My values are open and let's talk about things, but I don't want to impose that value onto someone else's family where they may not. And so, yeah, why don't you talk to your family about that? But if it's my kid, or if it's like I have the authorization to just like, yeah, talk to them about anything. Puberty blockers or medicine. This Must Be the Night by Mink DeVille. And then we will play some Chapel Roan, having teased it. And since we are like full on talking about that, but that was, okay, that sign, that whole thing, that was almost at the end of the protest. When I showed up, so again, I'm there. It's now, the protest was set to start at noon, and like I said, the bus got me there by 12:09, which, again, mathematically, from when I left my house at like 10:30 or so, that's about an hour and a half. But it actually didn't feel like an hour and a half. The walking, I think, helped. I did some walking both ways, and I love walking. And yeah, I think I had been prepared because they had said it could be the trip could be anywhere from an hour and 18 minutes to an hour and 44 minutes. I thought I'd get there closer to 12:30, with my assumption the march would be leaving closer to 1, because that's just generally how it works. This is my one, and I'm not sure if it's a concern. Given that I did show up early-ish, and given that they had a sizable crowd, I appreciate that they just got going. They didn't do a bunch of speeches at the beginning. They didn't just make people stand around wait. And in as much as people were waiting, they had music going, which gets, at least there's something to do. People were also distributing things like buttons. I got a they-them pin. Of course, the person right after me, they were like, I have a whole assortment, so what are you looking for? And the person was like, she, her, and they're like, oh, that one's hard to find. And I kind of like chuckled because I know, well, within my organization, which is mostly women, we ran into she, her pins immediately. And then even he, him, after we had some events where families were invited, which includes like husbands, for many, but not all. Then the he, him pins left, but now to this day we still have like a lifetime supply of they, them pins, because they should actually maybe not distribute them in equal amounts, because there aren't that many gender non-conforming people. That's not a slight. It's just a mathematical fact that there are more people who identify as she and more people who identify as he than people who identify as they in the world, and that's okay. And they had tons and tons of they, them pins. But they got started pretty early, which I appreciate. Okay, of course, this is the time, every single time that I actually have to look up the. Um, oh, so many thoughts I'm not finishing. I swear, Kelsey Carter and maybe yeah. Well, I swear, no. I had a few drinks, so um, I swear they said they were a Seattle band, or that they said that they had other dates coming up. But now that I think about it, they may just have been talking about they did have an in store at Easy Street, and I think that was tonight. Um, so we'll talk about it. But the shortest version is I really didn't know who the New York Dolls were. Like I can't say like yeah I had already probably been a Ramones fan for decades, and then I was just kind of doing it. And maybe I think it may have been around the time that CBGB's closed. So we're talking like literally like the 2000s. Um, did a deeper dive into just like that whole era, the Max's Kansas City and whatnot. And somehow I think it was probably this album cover, and I was like, yes, no, I need this. And I mean, to me, they're like this exactly what this album is, which is the missing link between like Ramones and Motley Crue, and as we're talking about like glam, yeah, no, proto punk, but glam as well. Chapel Roan has talked rightfully quite a bit about um, owing debt to drag queens in particular, but to a variety of queer artistries. And then why is it doing this now? Okay. I literally okay, sorry. Well, I'm apologizing, but you know what, Chapel Roan? If you just printed fucking track listings on your records, we wouldn't do that. I like I said, I'm going to complain about this every single time. A lot of artists don't do it because the vinyl gets printed. I don't know. They don't want to lock themselves into a particular set list. In this case, because it says it just the back cover is just an image, and then in just very tiny letters at the bottom it says www.iamchapelroan.com/album credits. I'm like, that's it. It just feels so like Gen Z. Like that's what we're doing for our album credits now. Like not even at no point do you feel like a legal or a moral requirement to all the artists who put their work into this to actually print their name somewhere. It's just, if you really care, you'll go online. And the track listing. Like that's the part where I'm like, you're going to make me go online. And if I go to iamchapelroan.com, it doesn't have the track listing for the vinyl. So yeah, so I have to go to Discogs, a website I don't even like. Earth. That's still not helpful. Okay. Is it Wikipedia? See, this is how long it takes me to play the Chapel Roan song I want to play, Chapel, because you made it a some kind of online fucking vision quest, and I literally just want to. Yeah, it starts off as a joke, and then I get to this point where I can't find one. Chapel Roan Midwest Princess vinyl. Fucking cut me off. Now I just want to go to bed. Chapel Roan Midwest Princess vinyl track listing. What? No. I was just at. Okay. I know the order that they're in, but if you can't tell me which track is on which side, that is not helpful information. Okay, I got this. Okay. That has been my recurring segment called Grandpa Tries to Find the Track Listing to to Chapel Road. And only to confirm what I knew the whole time, which is Pink Pony Club is track C1. I don't know why I do this to myself. I know this album by now, but I do know why. It is 60% to Roast Chapel Road, 40% because I'm a kinesthetic learner. Hi, Karma. Hi, Karma. I know that look was like, why aren't you petting me? Give me a second. I had a costume change. They're just lasers. They're just lights. You're welcome to chase them if you want to. Oh, that is the end of film.
5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I will not embarrass myself and try and do the dance. I know the dance, but you could tell like these people have like muscle memory. They're like, yeah. Um, um, yeah, but no, I already shouted out the marching band. There was a fair amount of elevation. It is Ballard, which is a hill climbing. And I have mentioned, it was after being briefly on Market, we detoured into a residential neighborhood, and I was questioning it just because I'm like, I mean, we've got this huge crowd, but who's good? Because I was really like, are we going to take on Market Avenue? We've got enough people. Let's do it. That wasn't the plan. That was never the plan. That's fine. When we stopped at this house and they started chanting, "Join us, Jeff! Join us, Jeff!" There was a fair amount of confusion. That is one. Speaking of crowd, not control, crowd communication. That this was a missed opportunity. They were handing out slips, but they weren't necessarily explaining. And but we were outside the home of Jeff. So nothing's gonna be simple tonight. That's the thing. Jeff Spearing? Yeah, no. I was like, I know it's not Jeff Bezos because he doesn't live in Ballard. Like, if he just lived in a random house across from the elementary school in Ballard, I think we'd all know. And Jeff Bezos doesn't live in a house with no fence. In fact, I really question if the CEO of Seattle Children's lives in this house. I am not playing My Kink is Karma with my cat in my lap. I am not. This song's not about you, but the Taylor Swift song is. Except, well, sort of. You were like the least relaxing thought I can imagine. But you are a cat. No, you're like, I am not. I am a dog. I can't. This is Frankenstein. Oh my God. This was actually the first New York Dolls. Okay. Oh, okay. Wait. No. Okay. It wasn't the 2000s because I know I had a New York Dolls shirt with this on it going back to. Oh, well. No, the late 90s. Like, yeah, no. Okay. That would have been Y2K. Yeah, no. Again, we're in the late 90s. We'll get back to. I will tell my David Johansen story, and it's trust me, it's not much. This is Frankenstein. the end of Lonely Planet Boy. But no, yeah, this is I remember having this on a T-shirt just because I was much more into shock value than I am now, and I'm not against shock value. I appreciate I still snicker when I see someone else's shock value. We'll get to some of the signs and protests and chants. But no, yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. I think the amount. No, speaking of like the organizers of protests did a really good job, because you can do a good job or not so good job. It's not just about printing a flyer and then people showing up. I mean, there really takes a lot of coordination, and they had all of it. They had the snacks people and the water people, and was actually the same person. And yeah, no, like I said, all the communication people, I still call them corkers, but the bike people, the car people, all of that takes an enormous amount of coordination, and it can be done well or it can be done not so badly. I mean, not so well. I think the amount of starting and stopping, they can make you stop every 50 feet for like 20 minutes at a time to where it gets really frustrating, or they can do no stopping whatsoever to where groups are getting separated by lights and people who maybe aren't the fastest walkers are being left behind. It's a balance, and they did a good job of it. And again, the reasons they were stopping were for both to mass up, quote unquote, but to also because for specific events, particularly various homes that I gather he lived in or owned. The chants, they varied the chants, which I think is great. I think there were some missed opportunities where chants that clearly weren't resonating, they kept going a little bit long, but they actually, like I said, they mixed it up, and yeah, no, and they had a mix of a mix of like sort of traditional chants, and I guess some that they had come up with themselves, whatever. We'll get to my favorite chant in a moment. Some of the inflections were weird, and I don't know if it would be like these Ballard people, but like, yeah, no. At one point they did, when trans rights are under attack, the response being, "What do we do? Stand up, fight back." When trans rights are under attack, what do we do? The response being, "Stand up, fight back." Completely missed a cue to the point where the sousaphone player was like, and they're like, "We'll try that again." I also appreciated, a few things. So, and then some of these things have less to do with the organizers than the crowd. One, it was devoted from beginning to end to trans youth. All the signs, all the chants, and this is generally important. This is increasingly important to me. I saw one Palestine flag, and that was fine. They didn't start any chants about divesting or rivers or anything. They just one flag, and that's fine. Among mostly, and some flying pretty high, like word to the dad or whoever who had the. Again, I shouldn't assume anyone's gender. Yeah, word to the individual who had the really long pole sign at one. point, a child was carrying it, and they were like, "This is heavy." And then their friend tried to help, and they're like, "No, no, I got it." You know, like that. They weren't asking for help. They just wanted you to know how strong they are. And I was like, yeah, I get that. But yeah, no. One Palestinian flag is fine. I would have, even a few would have been fine. I would have loved to see some Ukrainian flags. I have a Ukrainian flag. I was like, oh, I should have brought my Ukrainian flag. I should have brought trans flags. I could have, every single time, I should have brought a tambourine, noisemakers. Like, I have things I can contribute. I generally did try and stay with the marching band as I do, just to, I like listening to them. I appreciate that like corridors were made for them when they kept like, you know, they stay together, and then sometimes if the crowd moves ahead of them, they were prioritized, and as they came through, they were treated like celebrities that they are. No, I mean, I really appreciate. Again, this is more the organizers, the rock star treatment, and then that the protesters in kind gave them the rock star treatment. Speaking of shock value, this is "I Love a Little Pussy" by Sylvain and the Criminals off of Bowery Butterflies. Vintage 1970, vintage 1978 vintage New York City rock and roll gems. It just says Sylvain of the New York Dolls. But no, the other thing, like, so at one point, yeah, no, I mean, there's always the tension in a crowd. Like, what kind of crowd are we going to be? At one point early on, someone said, like, "You're gonna smash some cars or what?" And I looked over, but clearly they were a middle-aged person like myself, and they were joking. And then when they saw the my alarm, they were like, "Yeah, no." But for a minute, I was like, "No, we're not. That's no. I'm not with them. I don't know her." And yeah, no. When we were at Jeff Burling's house, I already forgot his name, and I don't care to look it up again. That already robbed valuable seconds from this show. Now is a middle-aged ex-smoker who, what did, okay, now I have to look it up. What did Sylvain die of? And I bet it was cancer. I'm looking at this album where in every picture, every band member is smoking, and I'm just like, maybe not glamorize that shit, but I am not going to hold Sylvain to it was the 70s. It was, I was there, I remember. Oh, come on. Yeah, it's like, who else would I be looking at? Why are you going to make me spell Sylvain? Yeah, twice. How many Sylvains are there in the world? Well, Sylvain Mizrahi, I always forget that. Yeah, died of cancer. I'm sorry, I'm not me. I'm mad at people who died way too young of cancer and smoked this proudly. Look at that. Like, and no, and it's like, and me, and let's be honest, like, even, I was gonna say, like, 14-year-old me, but whenever I discovered, like, really got dug deep into like Sylvain, like, even early 2000s me, like, would have been like, that's cool, and that's absurd. Look at that. Like, that's, what is that, a 120? Like, what? That's, I mean, that looks comical to me now. Like, because they're all like, it looks like a parody of trying to be cool because you're I can't describe it. And I lied. They don't. I had to double check. They don't actually have cigarettes in their mouth in the band picture. Actually, on stage in the. Okay, we'll give them credit for that. Because yeah, Slash. It's like Slash is like, I don't even smoke. Those are props. Those are honeysuckle cigarettes. I swear. Play more Velvets. All right, that feels really literal, which is why I'm not going to do it. Okay. This is a young man's money, which, yeah, is often spent on cigarettes. Or at least was. Now it's like Zin or whatever those packets are, and vape, which vape all you want, but don't do disposables. That's, come on. That's especially, yeah, no, a lot of them are really high concentration of nicotine. If you literally just learn, it's a lot cheaper. And if you learn, like, you can mix your own juices even, and then you can, like, lower your concentration, taper off. You're never going to quit. When I talk a lot about vaping, there's my vape public disclosure. When I talk a lot about how vaping helped me quit, I don't mean disposables like Juul, which has the equivalent of an entire pack of cigarettes in 250 puffs, which is like the equivalent of, I don't know, how many drags to an average cigarette? I'm going to say an average, and again, an average cigarette, the length is, I believe, 85 millimeters. Except Camel Wides, which were 83 millimeters, because to make up for that width, they just shortened them. You're not getting any extra anything out of these people. They know what they're doing. By the way, I don't know if you can still buy Camel Wides, but actually, I actually really liked Camel Wides. They were goofy, but I actually really liked them. No, the point of this is, don't smoke, kids. That's me when I'm like talking about how I just go off on Sylvain and for glamorizing cigarettes, and I'm like, I really like Camel Wides. Yeah, no. Of course, now I want to become a cat. Did I say that this is Ivan Julian and Capsella? Ivan Julian was a member of Richard Hell and the Voidoids, who I probably should play. I mean, I probably should play. Well, we'll play them this week. I mean, it's all early New York, downtown, Lower East Side scene. And what year did this come out? Because this is years later. (2009), but do you still hear the like New York Dolls David Johansen influence? Not so much, maybe this song. This is the Naked Flame off of the Naked Flame by Ivan Julian and Capsella. But no. So when we were at the hospital CEO dude's house, someone actually stood up, like basically got up, not well, no, they were up the steps. They were on their property, basically, and they were chanting something, and it was a call and response, and people were responding, but someone next to me was like, "Uh-oh," and it wasn't "uh-oh," it was "uh-oh" for them. There was a crowd, police presence, but they, as I've noted, more recently have kept their distance, and that's fine with me. Because I literally do think that they were just there to keep people safe. I don't think they were there to. It wasn't the crunch in line like the response that showed up at the library. It was interesting at the end of this protest. They were like, "Go use the library. The library are our friends." And I was like, "Oh, actually, talk to those other trans people, including the library union, because the librarians were the ones who organized that one." The library allowed some TERFs to host a thing. They hosted their thing. This is a while back. You can check my channel. I want to say like October, November. But again, after that I was like, wait, am I even doing library halls anymore? Of course I am. The library is our friend. This is "I Don't Care" by Ramones. Off of It's Alive. Well, that's the other thing. We're featuring quite a bit of live records tonight. That's okay. But I also know, we're talking about I also noticed that if people didn't care for the chant, they would modify them. So at one point, someone was saying "smash the state," and someone else changed it to "fuck the state" or something like that. Like, I'm fine either way. Is Now I Want to Be a Good Boy by Ramones off of It's Alive. Sorry, I want. I'm going to go with Now I Want to Be a Good Boy. That's what I've always called it. But the technically the this says I want to be a good boy, and this says Now I Want to Be a Good Boy. Um, I always think they're going to launch it at 24 hours ago. I want to be sedated. And I always think they're going to say, yeah, okay. Yeah. Anyway. Um, oh, I knew. Yeah, okay. It is Fire Escape, which Pigeon Pit did play. Um, I think this was their encore. Um, Again, we'd have to go to the tape, which is coming soon. New episodes of the MF show. Um, oh, well, this is Soup for My Family, which they definitely played as a ultimate sing along. That was awesome.
I walk home from the grocery store, takes me past my favorite courthouse doors. There's crowds of hungry people everywhere, and that's alright, brought enough to share. Oh, please, officer, you gotta believe me, it's soup for my family. No, I ain't no crook, I ain't no vandal, just pour one out from a can of Campbell's.
These piggies and sing together. You gotta believe me, it's sick from my family. Ain't no cook, ain't no band, just blowing out from the can of candles. Take it, Jim. Jim. Like, Bones rocks, but fucking Jim, man. Who played with Footox, as did their fiddle player. This is, what did I say? Fire Escape. This is probably my favorite Pitch and Pit song that is not Sweet for My Family, Milk Crate, Milk Crate, Black Metal, no, but I think, at least, Milk Crate, holy shit, I don't know, this is Fire Escape. I don't know why I can't, get that title in my head. Hi, Karma's back. Guess who's back? Driving. Oh. The Chalk Writer, that was the beginning of Milk Crates, which I might play at some point. The Chalk Writer with the very nice handwriting. I didn't realize he's officially with the other, I saw her coordinating. The other Chalk Writers, and I understand we're outside this guy's house and you have motivation, but we're standing here. I wasn't the only person who felt this. We're standing here. All right, I was like, am I playing Lady Gaga? I'm not playing Born This Way yet, but I will play some Lady Gaga. Okay, I got three different mixes of Judas, and I'm not sure which one to play. The Goldfrapp remix, I think that's the one. I think that's just the one I usually play. Hertz remix or Royksop's 30 Pieces remix. Okay. Let's do. Oh, I didn't. I forgot that I wasn't. I thought I was like subtly putting on my lipstick before I went back on camera. I didn't realize I was on camera. Okay, we're gonna play the Judas Roy Sopp's 40 pieces of 40 30 pieces remix, which is obviously it was silver, right? Not gold. It was, yeah, it wasn't even gold. It was 30 pieces of silver that Judas betrayed Jesus over. But if I don't like this remix, I want my money back. I feel like I picked the wrong remix. Oh, that's not gonna work. Okay. Well, kind of. No. Okay. All right. I had a plan. Never mind. All right. I thought it was gonna be sneaky about something, but it doesn't matter. I'll figure it out in a minute. So going through a residential neighborhood, and I actually like this. I mean, the MLK march, a lot of the Garfield marches take different routes, and almost all the routes involve going through some, at least residential, and you see people with balconies and stuff. But what were some of the? We got a lot of waves and smiles. We got some people came out with their flags. Some people glared openly. There was one woman, and she was just like so. And then you look over, and her neighbor's literally out there with flags. Her neighbor also had, we agreed, first of all, Henry, an original Henry painted on your house. Like, okay. Harry Styles in the window, cats, a dog, a little dog. Yeah, she's 10 out of 10, but the woman scowling next to her, and it's like, okay, you think you're beefed with us, but first of all, we're so in a bubble of like community joy right now that we can only experience your face as like, look at that bitter person who's on the outside of it. Or if we're a little bit compassionate, which I am, to a certain extent pity, to see like the collective joy that we represent with the marching band and all that, and to be aghast by that openly, and to want to come out of your house to, she didn't say anything, but express that. There was another moment on the same block where we thought de-escalation was going to be necessary. Oh, that was the other thing about Magnolia. I started to see a lot of like, God bless America. I was actually looking. I didn't see any Trump, but I saw a lot of God bless America, stickers, flags. And then at one point, I don't know, because I'm relating this, during the march, I saw a guy, and he looked like I don't know, the face, I guess his facial expression was neutral, and he had an American Pride flag, and then I realized he was one of the bike guys, he was one of the people protecting us from traffic, so, later I saw him chanting, they don't own the U.S. flag, but I can't tell you how, to a certain extent, I feel terrorized by it, at least in the current way that it's been weaponized. One group of people, as we were specifically chanting, that was the other thing. No, as far as people having different chants or people modifying their chants, people had different versions of grammar. So it wasn't just like the cadence, but like people couldn't decide, is it out of your house and into the street or out of the houses and into the streets? And that seemed to be like, you couldn't quite get a fix on that. And anyway, while we were chanting one or both of those things, someone specifically closed their blinds, and then I pointed it out, and people like laughed. And not to mock them, but like you can't, yeah. But like I said, specifically, overwhelmingly, more people who came out of their houses or showed up in their window, it was to show support. And that was beautiful. Boop. Sorry. Oh, I'm trying to. Okay, I need. Okay. Yeah. I'm trying to think of my favorite sign. I know my favorite chant, and I saw a back patch that. Yeah, no, that. If I can't think of my favorite sign, I'll just go with that. But I think there were some pretty clever signs, and I'm trying to remember. I said I wasn't going to do news, but some news I can report. Protests. This was one of many, many protests in Seattle and across the country all weekend. There were protests at various dealerships for Tesla. Actually, technically, they're not dealerships; they're showrooms. Or maybe they finally filed the right paperwork and they are dealerships. But I don't know. But yeah, no. From Renton to Linwood. Protests over the highway. People were holding banners that said "Immigrants Make America Great." Downtown waterfront, huge Ukraine support. Times Square, huge Ukraine support. In a small town in Vermont where J.D. Vance thought he was going to take a quiet ski vacation, 1,000 plus people, I think 1,400 people showed up to let him know otherwise, especially after his ridiculous outburst in the White House. But yeah, protests coast to coast. So this one particular protest I went to this weekend, one of many, many. And going back to, I appreciated how much everyone kept the thread of the plot, which is protect trans youth. Except this one lady who every time, and I get it. I'm sorry, again, I shouldn't assume gender. This one individual, I get it. You're an elder. Elder issues are, elders can feel and be invisible. But every time it was like trans youth are under attack, or she would change it to, or this individual changed it to a trans right, or I don't know. They really were centering adult trans people, and I guess the reminder that adult trans people exist is important, and the reminder that trans youth aren't the only ones under attack. But it's important to note because this is the time and place we are now. Yes, if they succeed in eliminating trans youth rights and They may, because of the we know best, how we as a culture think about children. Trans adults are next, and they know that. That's the point. That's the goal. Okay, I knew that was the wrong. Yeah, not. All right. Why I'm gonna just end up playing Born This Way. This is off of Born This Way, the remix. This is the Goldfrapp, just because that all felt like. This is the Goldfrapp remix of Judas, and I swear to God, it better have chorus and verses. Like, I understand what a remix song is, but. Oh, I have pictures of the. Oh, no, I don't. All right. I'm like, is this the wrong speed? It should not be. Oh. Now, has this always been a 45? I'm a ridiculous human being. I admit that on various occasions, and I'm never unhappy to. But that was uniquely me. No, I don't want to do that because I don't, yeah. I was going to screen share some of the signs, but. Oh, well, yeah, no, this one wasn't in particular. Okay, I will. You Are Loved with Trans Colors. 157,000 doctors agree that trans care is, I can actually read it. Mama Bears for Trans Kids, that's definitely up there as among my favorite. Defend Trans Youth. Gender affirming care saves lives. F Elon or felon. F Elon, let's stand up and fight. Solidarity now. Trans folks, you are loved. Gender affirming care saves lives. Stop the hate. Oh my God, and the angriest cat in the world. I forgot about it. Okay. So this is not a 45, it turns out. Well, I played at the speed I wanted to. But yeah, no, this cat was so angry at us passing by that I was like, that cat's transphobic. I think the cat just didn't like that much going on its block, but the look on its face, I will actually screen share this. Like, yeah, this is actually, I'm sorry. Because this is like, I mean, this is like grumpy cat level. I was like, wow. Yep. Okay, I just made up that speed for that song.
There's nothing wrong with loving who you are, she said, 'cause it made you perfect, babe.
Tell me that cat's not pissed. Transphobic cat busted. Someone get me the license plate number of this cat. No, I'm kidding. No doxing. No doxing. I'm 100% kidding. But that cat also perfectly embodies like the relatively few Karens who they didn't say shit, but they made their faces made their opinions known. Pissed kitty. Alright, I'm gonna continue to see if there are any. Oh, that's not even the best picture of the cat, but trans kids belong. Believe trans kids. Trans rights are human rights. I don't mean to like reading these so monotone. Like at the time, we were actually some of these were protect trans kids as a backpatch. That's well, I guess technically that's my favorite. Yeah, no. Okay, so I don't necessarily have a favorite sign. So my favorite backpatch, and I never advocate for violence or even threats of violence. I don't think that those are ways to solve solutions. However, I did laugh out loud at this, and it said, "If you misgender me one more time, I'm going to she/hurt you." Yeah, I was like, yeah, no, I get that. My favorite chant was something that I don't remember it exactly. Like it was something basically to the effect of HRT, over the counter and always free. Which I was like, yeah.
Same DNA.
I'm just trying to think of anything else like worth discussing. Yeah, no, and then traveling home, I took the 40 bus, which I haven't taken. I used to, that was a regular bus route I took for years. Um, all that looks the same. I walked through that part of Ballard, um, Mario's New York Start Pizza is still right there on Bright Street. The shed where Nirvana recorded Bleach is still just sitting there, apparently empty. That box, excuse me, I knew that. And I'm accordingly undoing my belt. Excuse me. I'm gonna go ahead and yeah. It was a little bit chilly today. Yeah, no, these are just like rain. Yeah, and especially I didn't notice it during the march per se, because you're probably just like warmed by crowd heat and just you're moving, excited. But then when I was on my own, yeah, no, and also yeah, well, the sun came out a couple times. There were a couple sun breaks. This is ABBA with "Gimme Gimme." This has just been stuck in my head on repeat. Planted in my head mostly because of Jumbotron lookalike videos on short social media. You know what I'm talking about? The other one is Solid Bass that they play a lot. The two businesses along the 40 route that have signs where they put, oh, okay, first of all, who is it? Oh, I want to really remember, because it's literally, oh, I almost can remember. It's so-and-so plumbing. They literally put on their signs, no mansplaining, which I thought was funny. I don't know what they do. I can't remember. There are two businesses, and they both have rotating signs that can be funny, that can be, the one that's on, not Dexter, Eastlake, said, a president is not a king, so they're going full political. And then the other one was, say what you mean and mean what you mean what you say and say what you mean, but don't say it mean. And I was like, yeah, no, that's valid. Art Marble is still there on Eastlake. I don't know what that is. Matchstick, Flat Stick is still there. Buca de Beppo is still there. I believe what used to be Blue Sea Sushi is still empty, and now the one that was downtown is a hot pot. But the one, and then the one, then what? And there's a, or maybe the gelato place used to be Blue Sea Sushi. I'm not sure now. Dusty Strings, the music store, is still there. The Thai place has been there for a long time now. At the bus stop on the other side, they've been there for a minute now. Oh, this is kind of funny. No, this ties in. Yeah, hi, Cons. You're not a man, but after midnight, you'll do. And again, just to keep warm. Now that it's becoming more and more spring, I'm like, oh, my pets don't love me. They just steal my body heat. Like they're getting more and more like off into their own spaces, and I'm like, oh. At night, like they don't all like huddle under the blankets, and I'm like, oh yeah, we go through this every year. You don't really love me. It's just you're, yeah. But I noticed on the digital displays downtown, it said, due to events in Ballard, the 40 and the 44 may be delayed, which I actually witnessed while they were waiting. They put their blinkers and they waited for us to march on through. But really, we mostly avoided, like I said, we're only in Market Street for about 15 minutes. We went past the we went past the rock climbing place, and then, like I said, we detoured up and that's off of ABBA's Greatest Hits Volume 2. But no, when I saw that, I was like, that's us. We're events. I mean, they could have also met the farmers market, which was happening at the same time. This is Black Metal by Pigeon Pit off of Treehouse. Wait, oh my God, every single time. I love the art for this. I was like, you're fucking with my close-up.
Rovers landed Milo on it over. We haven't held their hands since early October.
This is Milo.
They
My
got
God.
my gloss shirt, but they mailed it back.
I kind of
smelled like their sweat and the diner they were cat.
No. Do not swipe at my wine bottles, Carla. That was funny.
Reminds me of
You gonna turn on this
rehab
shit?
in
No.
Southern Oregon. Pulled over on I-5 to get even more high than this. All the stars
Those experiences with my
hatched
alcohol are their own and perfectly valid.
your quick beating heart is one thing
Nor does it require my validation, but I'm just acknowledging that is real and true.
The plants on your dashboard, I fix your car with tinfoil. You know, I know.
Wait, how? Oh my gosh. Slightly Furry is still there. And what is it called? Community Mechanic Shop Rainier. Ants Community Garage. There.
6 miles.
Thanks. Yeah. Ants Community Garage. DIY Auto Repair Club. We provide you with friendly advice and safe, comfortable space to work. We're a family-owned and operated self-service repair shop. Family-owned and operated. Book online. Chat support available. Alright, I would like to know more. Speaking of the angriest cat in the world. She actually isn't, she just looks like that. She just has Wrestling Karma face. I think. It turns out I'm not a very good determinator of that. I spent the last 2 years insisting that Ben Affleck just had resting Ben face. That's just his face. Oh, no, they're getting divorced. This is black metal.
Black metal, full volume, there's no way that I could hear you. If there was anything to say, maybe I hate myself, I hate the body I was born in. Or I love you.
And again, they did play this, and Milo.
Now I am opiate, slow on some
Well, I think understanding that their first record's been out of print for a very long time, and their newest record just came out. They mostly leaned off of Train House and Feather River Canyon Blues, which makes sense, and I appreciate it because those are songs I know too.
I cannot see ya through the fogged up windshield.
Those fogged up windshields. Life is so fogged up.
And I never felt more at home than our impenetrable fortress of blankets on my kitchen floor. But the innermost wall fell, so we fell back to the last resort of heat that we kept in each other's mouths. I never felt more at home than 381 miles away from home. Orange County nightmares of stagnancy. Orange County nightmares of stagnancy.
I meant to do that. This New York Dolls was something off of 2009's "Cause I Says So." This is Better Than You, and this goes out to everyone who is not David Johansen. Sorry. Including myself, for sure, especially. the first speaker up was great. She's the only one I got on tape. She was a mom. I'm pretty sure she said what is technically a slur. Instead of saying transgender youth, she said youth once, but she corrected herself and didn't say it again. She's a mom and she's still learning, and and I actually questioned with starting with a mom. I wouldn't necessarily put a youth on to speak first, though. That would be amazing. Spent all that time yelling at Chapel Roan, and now I'm realizing you can also just count. You can also just count, which is, yeah, me when I'm so reliant. And now, well, you had me looking at the internet. If you didn't have me looking at if you printed just the number, if you printed just the words with the names, I can still speak words, and I am still speaking words apparently. All right, I was gonna do this costume change, like subtle or on the fly, but I couldn't figure out how to do it, and then what did I do? Oh, oh, because I did that. Yeah. So many asymmetrical haircuts, and that's not. But so many asymmetrical haircuts, myself included. That is literally why. Oh, yeah. No, the guy who technically, I'm sorry, the individual who spoke first wasn't a parent. They were actually a trans healthcare worker, and they identified both as a healthcare worker, who they mentioned very touchingly. When we go to work on Monday, we are bringing this energy, this love with us, which got huge applause. But they also identified as a trans elder themselves. I was going to say something. Again, this was organized by trans healthcare workers. Oh, I was going to give the backstory, which I didn't. So Seattle Children's, despite some of these people, and including the mom, the aforementioned mom, being really, really surprised, she was like, "Oh wow, they really did that. They really." After sort of announcing and insisting they would not, Seattle Children's briefly discontinued gender affirming care for minors. Then they reinstated it, and then separately in the state of Washington, which had challenged it, received an injunction. And I guess it's nationwide right now, right? Right? But we did that. All right. Well, now we're all doing it together. Now I'm complicit. I talked about, again, right. And I'm not saying this to be mean. I love these people. David Johansen died of cancer. Sylvain died of cancer. This song is called Fishnets and Cigarettes. And this is from 2006. They are still glorifying cigarettes in like. And I get it. Like, when I write a period piece, and one of these days I'm going to produce my movie, Orange Crush, about the aftermath of a girl fight. That's basically the entire film is, except it's the film. Someone else made it already. Like, some indie filmmaker already made it. I need to fix my makeup because I barely have any eyeliner left. Okay. Me when it's like, yeah, it's 10 o'clock at night and I'm like, more eyeliner. I'm not putting on any more eyeliner. I'm going to put on more lipstick though. Oh, I know what I said I was going to do. I said I was just going to... Yeah, no, I'll see if any more thoughts come to me with... Oh, no, wait. I told you, we're just going to screen share and... Okay, no, let's talk about it. So, okay. This is We're All in Love, also by the New York Dolls, off of One Day It Will Please Us to Remember Even This. But I can remember when I found out that that is Buster Poindexter, or made the connection. Because again, if you want more personal stories, like I actually knew David Johansen, you're going to have to watch the MF show, because my dad actually knew David Johansen. But one of the stories I do tell, again, maybe I'm recounting it all so you don't have to, but my dad having to explain to me that Buster Poindexter is a character, it's not his real name, blah blah blah, it's not even the style of music he's most known for, or like he had a whole separate career. And I heard that and understood that at the time. But I am 100% certain, well, I don't know, I can't say between when Hot 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 was released, I'm sorry, between when I was born and when Hot 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 was released, I didn't hear, I'm sure I was exposed to some New York Dolls or some David, something. And the first time I know I was consciously aware of who he was Buster Poindexter, only because, okay, this is a very specific thing. I used to have to say, for those of us who are a little bit older and remember record stores, now of course record stores are very much back. But one thing they don't have anymore, because the singles of the week aren't released on 7 inches as a standard practice, but they used to have a section, and sometimes it was like on the wall, and you could like walk up and like, you know, there was like kind of a display, and the ones that had covers, and the ones that were just generic sleeve like that would be that, or maybe they would create in store a little like visual for that. But they would have a wall, and it would have slots, and you could grab your copy, unless it was sold out. Or if it wasn't a whole, it might just be a rack or not a rack, a box up by the register. But it was always going to be up front at the front of the store where the 7 inches were, and it was always going to include somewhere near it, whether they just photocopied like the top 40 and taped it to the counter next to a box, or like I said, had a whole fancy display. The 7 inches of the top, necessarily, it depends, not necessarily the top 40, the top 20, top 10, whichever, because you couldn't necessarily guarantee the entire top 40 was probably out on vinyl on 7 inch that week, especially when sometimes things enter the chart very quickly. Sometimes an unexpected, but generally be as much of it as they could. And I remember at a record store on the Upper East Side that I would pass on my way home from school, going in. It was right by Lee's Computers and Dramatics, the hair salon. So you can tell me what avenue I'm on. Is this Lexington? I don't know. Okay. But I remember this record store, and I remember specifically walking in and buying Buster Poindexter's Hot Hot Hot, of everything that I could spend my grubby little $3 on for a 7 inch. Everything on the top 40 that week, that was the song that had jumped out at me, and I bought it. How do you call your lover boy? I really always want him, after those 3 loves, to say, how do you call your lover boy? But he never does, because it's a pre-recorded song and it's never going to change, despite my magical thinking. This is What's That Got to Do with Rock and Roll by Sylvain Sylvain. I love that picture. I almost included a crop picture. Well, I'm not going to talk about why I don't do David Bowie. Your reasons are your reasons, my reasons are my reasons. I understand why David Bowie continues to be a very beloved musician in this world. I don't fuck with that, for my own reasons. And I love this picture. I love, including the fact that it's with David Bowie, but also just again, glam icon, androgyny icon, gender nonconformity icon, but also just very much like, yeah, that's not all I am. That's not. Oh. And then, yeah, I can always be re-traumatized by how the 92nd Street Y is like where celebrities hang out now. We were just talking about this recently. People who wear their own band merch, I have no problem with it unless you're Donald Trump and hawking it from the White House. Because literally that's illegal. The Hatch Act is a real thing, even if no one will enforce it. But yeah, no, I have no problem with the band wearing their own merchandise or fans wearing merchandise to the band that you've gone to go see at a show. I think all of that is perfectly acceptable. And you can, agree to disagree. Like, oh, did that ever happen? Because this is from July of 2020. And we can just keep looking at pictures of David Johansen forever. That's fine. That's what endless scroll is for. Well, because it's already playing. Not for sale. But if it's, then how do I own it? And again, I don't know all the history of what happened with the New York Dolls. I don't even know if they officially broke up, but they were on a hiatus for decades, but then got back together in the early 2000s. But according to my dad, at least if the questions are like, well, the biggest personalities in the band, David Johansen and Sylvain, was there something there? According to my dad, I don't know if it was the first time Sylvain played, but they were all going out to see Sylvain play, and David Johansen was there to support. So okay, this is just a random thought, and he's not even an actor specifically anymore. Elvis Perkins to play David Johansen. I should say he's not primarily an actor anymore. Elvis Perkins to play David Johansen. Oh my God, what is that? I don't own that. I want that. Wait, is that for sale right now? Because let's go to a website. Oh, it's okay. Translate. Oh yeah, no, let's translate it. Yeah. It sounds like I'm accepting cookies. Wait. Annie Lennox Diva. Holy shit. That's not what I was looking for, though. Alright, let's move on. Heart sunglasses continue to be in style. I'll just note from my... cargo... wide leg, stovepipe, whatever. Yeah, no. Skinny is not in. Well, for jeans and pants, anyway. And heart sunglasses, like I said, continue to be. A lot of pictures of Martin Scorsese. Okay. I'm assuming no longer available. Yeah, no, okay. Anyway, me literally trying to buy. Yes. So again, we're actually Sylvain, but let's hear some solo Dave Joe. No, that's not. Wait, is it? Wait, it might be actually. It's not, but it might be. We'll find out. This is this what I get for loving you? Oh, oh. All right, now I'm starting to see mugshots that aren't related, so that tells me we're probably like, it's probably like, and or just like random pictures, but. Oh, well, it looks like, I guess the documentary came out, or. I don't know. I don't know why that needs to be like, yeah, I need to save that image actually. Oh, first measles outbreak in King County. I said I wasn't gonna do this in the news episode, but yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I guess this is your news break because this is So Sunday Fun Day used to be the episode where I didn't have to talk about news because nothing happened, but of course we live in the hyper news cycle that is our federal government right now. So of course Zelensky, the big blowout between Zelensky and Trump and Vance, who it took two of you. Sad. Followed by subsequent, and this again wasn't reported. I'm not seeing a lot of these protests over this weekend being widely reported. There was already a protest going on in Washington. I'm assuming they're just protests in D.C. for the next 4 years, but there were already protests going on who cheered Zelensky as his motorcade left the White House, but I didn't hear that being reported. And then, of course, yes, European leaders, including UK and European leaders, 100% pledging support. That was, is this what I get for loving you? And this is Donna. I know this was gonna be a Richie Valens cover. Yeah, I'm glad it's kind of not. I'm kind of glad it's not. It goes out to the Donna I know. I hope you're doing well. I heard it. I heard you are, but I've been thinking about you. Communing with the universe in my own way about that, and hoping you're doing well. And a lot of these pictures are repeating now too, right? So I think, yeah, okay. So this is, yeah, enjoy the Sleep Karma Cam. That was the end of Donna by David Johansen. Before that was Is This What I Get for Loving You? Off of David Johansen, Live It Up. Of all this picture, I need to post. I need to post this because I'm of all the pictures I see online, this is one I'm not seeing. I don't know if I just say thumbnail, make this the thumbnail. Will AI like? Can you AI this shit? Make this the thumbnail. Thumbnail. Like yeah, I don't think that's how it works. Um, But no, as I mentioned, it was a little bit chillier today and it was definitely overcast with a few sun breaks. But I wondered, along with it being in Ballard, like I said, other people were like, why is this in Ballard? Oh, this guy's house. Okay, okay, we get it. But other people were like, yeah, obviously you had to make the effort to go out there. Um, this is In America by Ezra Furman off of 12 Nudes. Yeah, I wondered how those were going to affect the crowd, but I don't know, but it was a huge crowd, and for a very grassroots, underground kind of like CC us for the locate, like reach out, like they didn't, it wasn't heavily publicized, and none of it can be anymore. Like social media, we need to figure out our own channels, but social media ain't it anymore, sis. Like we're learning that, we know that already. Conspiracy theory. My like my economic blackout videos, I don't want to say were suppressed by YouTube, but my other shorts get, well, somewhere between 30 and 500 views in the first 24 hours, and this got 3. I don't know. I'm just asking Tucker Carlson's. I'm not, yeah, whatever. Saw a person wearing this exact shirt, and I was like, I almost said I own that shirt. I should have. I'm not good at talking to people. Well, I'm not good at talking to. I don't talk to people because once I often mean to just say something, and then I'm like, oh, oops, that seemed like an invitation to the whole conversation, not my intention. Sorry. So having learned that lesson, I just don't say anything at all. Oh. What's the girl you want? No. Trying to figure out what the gayest record on this is, which has been like one of the theme, not the theme song, the theme record for this season. Um, oh, well, they might object, but, and it's not, wearing makeup is not inherently gay. Being glam is not inherently gay. And that is an important point. And especially when I talked about like New York Dolls being like the words. I want to say Bridgepoint now, but whatever word I used then, not the gateway, the missing link, between the Ramones and Motley Crue, I think I said, but Poison, all of it. This is nothing but a good time. Originally by Poison, by Situation No Win. I think this is the end of the Boll Weevils, Jenny. Um, because again, yeah, no, well, we'll look into it. As far as I know, David Johansen was married to a woman. Yeah, glam is completely separate from gay, except not. Um, wink. I mean, and actually, no, glam. I can be very specific. Every glam artist who's like, I'm not gay, even if that's how they end up, because like Dee Snider from Sister Sister ended up saying some things that could be interpreted as transphobic, and I'm still trying to like not let that color my entire. But they still provided the by being so adamantly, just because I'm wearing frosted pink lipstick and like a teased out like wig doesn't mean I'm gay. They provided screen for everyone else who was like, me too, but not real, sort of. Yeah. All right, I'm actually going to. So I'm just looking at the Wikipedia page and I'm like, okay, I have all the pictures. This is neither a good picture or a bad picture. He has long hair and it is from an era like if you just went through the album covers, if you just saw all the album covers I just shared, then you'll know around when it is. The last time he had long hair, it would seem, is around this period, which is 2011. What is the acceptable for a celebrity who has died? There's no standard. This is one of the things about Wikipedia being like crowdsourced. There's no standardization. Like whoever uploaded the last picture, that's how old they are, and it can be like the most recent of the recent. Like, but this isn't how no one remembers them like this. To like, okay, but that was this picture is from like 70 years ago before people who even like they knew and loved and cared about them were even born. Like what are you doing? It's a both and there. But yeah, okay. Oh, Staten Island. So first of all, that Johansson was born in New York City in the borough of Staten Island. Okay. Um, January 9th, 1950. Okay, Capricorn. That in the borough of Staten to a librarian mother that named Helen, and an insurance sales representative father who previously sung opera, but apparently has no name, and that's okay. His mother was from an Irish American family, and his father was Norwegian American. He was one of five siblings. Okay. I don't think we can do the whole David Johansen biography, but let's kind of do it while this is the episode. Um, All right, I'm pretty sure this is gonna be quick because they all just run into each other. This is Rockaway Beach, Teenage Lobotomy, Blitzkrieg Bop, Gimme Shock Treatment, and You're Gonna Kill That Girl, but probably not. I Don't Care. All by originally by the Ramones, but performed by Parasites off of It's Alive, which is their cover of the entire Parasites album. Um, Johnson began, Johansen began his career in the 1960s as the lead vocalist of the Vagabond Missionaries, a local Staten Island band, and later in the early 70s as a singer-songwriter of the proto-punk band the New York Dolls. New York Dolls were part of the Mercer Art Center scene. Well, sort of. I know. Yeah, I know what that. I know where the Mercer Art Center is physically, but I didn't know. Okay, appearing on a bill at New Year's Eve, 1972. I used to have that. Oh my God, I used to have that on that particular bill. I didn't realize that was their first. Okay. Oh well, with Ruby and the Rednecks, they released 2 albums, the eponymous New York Dolls and Too Much Too Soon. The vocal material is written by Johansen and guitarist Johnny Thunders. The Dolls had a strong cult following and glowing reviews from critics such as Lester Bangs. Okay, I'm not reading the whole thing. In 1975, Thunders and Jerry Nolan left the band. Johansen and Sylvain, along with Peter Jordan, Chris Robson, and Tony Machine, who I think produced. Okay, never mind. Continued playing as New York Dolls until 1976, after which Johansen embarked on a solo career. First 2 solo albums, the eponymous Days of Johansen and In Style, featured several enduring originals. His self-titled album peaked at number 1 in Australia. Sylvain frequently performed with him and his band covered. So, of all the things, the dissolution of the New York Dolls wasn't about any. Well, it was about. Johnny Thunders leaving, but it wasn't about anything between Sylvain and David Johansen, which I had already knew and reported, but Wikipedia is confirming. His live albums, Live It Up and David Johansen Group Live, document Johansen's reputation as an exceptional concert performer. The studio releases Here Come the Night, which include the signature number Heart of Gold, and Sweet Revenge, again showcased his strength as a writer of new material and featured guest appearances by jazz saxophonist Big J. McNeely. Numerous songs co-written with South African musician Blondie Chaplin. 1982, Johansen was the opening act for The Who on several East Coast U.S. dates, including Shea Stadium in New York City and Capitol Center in Washington, D.C. In the late 80s, Johansen achieved moderate commercial success under the pseudonym Buster Poindexter, accompanied by the Uptown Horns, performing jump blues, traditional pop, swing, and novelty songs. He also appeared as part of the house band on the television program Saturday Night Live. I remember that, but I don't. Wow. Okay. As Poindexter, he scored his first hit song. All right, I'm going to play one more. Susie was a headbanger. Hot 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 was initially written and recorded by, I can't read that, Montessori Soca? Monsteration Soca and artist, I'm sorry, it's a style of music and I'm sorry, I'm not being disrespectful, I literally couldn't read that. Though I knew it didn't say Montessori. I was trying to be funny, but that's not even the name of the artist. It's the style of music that soca is the style of music I know, but specifically Montserranian soca is not a style I'm familiar with. Artist Arrow. Okay, I knew that. The Ha 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 was originally performed by Arrow. As Poindexter Johansen, I'm going to keep saying Johnson though, often appeared with his band, the Banshees of Blue. Early Poindexter releases combined an eclectic selection of covers with Johansen's own composition. Johansen went to issue Buster's Happy Hour, an album of songs thematically lit by their subject matter, alcohol. Also, cancer-causing, just saying. 10 years from now, where you're like, look at you railing about people, glamorizing. You spent a decade being like, why? I did. A decade and a half now. Oh, I did say I was going to play through You're Gonna Kill That Girl. That's only 2 more songs. Okay, acting, and then we're not going to get into... Okay. Oh! Holy shit! Was also on the Avengers of fucking Pete and Pete! I'm sorry. I didn't mean to yell, but... we've lost too many Petes this year. I put that Scrooge, of course, I already mentioned. Let It Ride, opposite Richard Dreyfuss, I remember that. Opposite Hulk Hogan and Sherman Helmsley and Mr. Nanny. Don't remember that. John C. McGlinchey in Car 54, Where Are You? Again, don't remember that. That's a cop show. Tales from the Dark Side, the movie, in the segment The Cat from Hell. I do remember that. Johansen most recently portrayed the bartender in the Bill Murray Netflix special, A Very Murray Christmas. Of course, Murray and Johansen, Scrooge, that makes sense. Johansen voiced the villain Ding Dong Daddy in the original Teen Titans animated series. Johansen's legs appear in John Lennon and Yoko Ono's 1971 film Up Your Legs Forever. And it played at Bear Tar in 2021 Centaur World animated Netflix series. Later solo career. Okay, I feel like we're good. Personal life. Oh, Cinda Fox. That's who my dad was like, yeah, no, I actually knew her. Was an American actress, model, and publicist. I said agent. She was a publicist. Best known for her role in Andy Warhol's Bad. Like I said, Andy was all up in that scene. Not to make it weird about me, Andy Warhol, I also met. I never met David Johansen. Gene Hackman, yes. Andy Warhol, yes. Michelle Trachtenberg, no, even though apparently she lived in Columbus Center, where I did for decades. And still, that is, if I ever moved to New York City, fuck, it might be Hell's Kitchen now. No, it probably will be Hell's Kitchen. But if I buy 2 houses, the second one will be in Columbia. Columbus Circle. Where Sally Field and Whoopi Goldberg filmed Soap Dish, and I actually watched them do the exterior scene running down the street. I was like, oh, yeah, okay. That's the thing about living in New York, is you just wander up on things, and you're like, oh, they're filming a thing. But divorced within a year in 1978. Okay. And then Kate Simon, I don't know, from 1983 to 2011. Oh, we already played the Ramones version. Let's just play it. This is the Parasites cover of. Oh, he died at his Staten Island home at the age of 75. Carmen's still here, by the way. Oh. She is, but we're not going to play that right now. This is Love is Strange by Mickey and Sylvia. This is just one, and then we're not playing it actually. Nothing against Just One Look by Doris Troy, but it's not what we're playing right now. This is off of the Mermaid soundtrack. God forbid I scratch this shit. I should be careful because. Boop. Sylvia. Oh, I always jump in a verse early, and I'm glad not everyone got all the choreo. Like there were some people who were like, not yet for Hot to Go. I'm still the one. I'm like, Sylvia. Exactly the right amount of cowbell. Oh my God. Okay, Kelsey Carter and the Heroines, exactly the right amount of cowbell. And tambourine. Speaking of, like, I need to bring this shit to. This is Trash by I don't know why I literally almost said Fallout Boy. I don't. Oh, I'm looking at. Okay, yeah, okay. And there is a there's a scientific reason. I know it's not science. There is a technical reason, but it's yeah. No, I was looking at this thing, but that's funny. Um, what is the direct line from? There are few degrees of separation. I mean, well, between. I guess Elon sent another letter to the federal worker. I don't know. All right, I'm officially looking at the Oscar. I think I'm just gonna do it. Mikey Madison. Movie theaters and Conan O'Brien were the big winners. Oscar winners see full list, including Anora, Zoe Saldana, and Wicked. How do you call your lover boy? Always hit it a beat early. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa. You're the one. How do you call your lover boy? Sorry, I just always think there's always room for one more of those. All right, we're gonna play one more Pigeon Pit song. We're gonna play Against Me, and that's it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting independent shit and seeking out. Is that a train?
I don't know where I go.
Sorry, last minute edition. We will be playing Devil Town by Cave Town.
I put my chest in broken milk crates underneath the trestle bottle that's song. Cover up in my call. Body not under the blankets. This might be the last I have to taste. The truth that's in an aliens. I put my chest in broken milk crates underneath the trestle bottle that's song. Cover up in my call. Body not under the blankets. This might be the last I have to taste. The truth that's in aliens.
Hearing them doing those, because it's a very specific pigeon pit thing, where two people singing different things at the same, two people singing two different things at the same time, and then so emotionally powerful to hear it live, like, that is, no. Oh my God. I'm so confused. They play, yeah, okay. No, I'm not. I think they played Fire Escape earlier and then they played Milk Crates. But I also feel like, did they play some weird mix between the two? Okay, again, I'll have to go to the tape. I also regret, because they did a lot of that dual vocals, like, where they're specifically, well, dual vocals is a thing, but singing two different things at the same time. I wish I had been able to capture a different angle where I could capture both of them, but I was focused mostly on Loams because it's Pigeon Pit. So, yeah. And Jim. Jim. I said one more edition, and then I played Banana Bread. All right, let's slow this shit down. What was I even talking about, if anything, important anymore? Oh. Honora won Best Picture, beating out The Brutalist, Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, and Amelia Perez. I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and Wicked, because there used to be only 4, or 5. The categories keep getting longer. Okay. Best Actress, Mikey Madison for Honora, beating out Cynthia Erivo, Carla Sofia Gasson for Amelia Perez. No comment. Demi Moore, The Substance, Fernando Torres, I'm Still Here. Okay, that's yeah. See, that's the but yeah. But apparently, best director, Sean Baker, Honora, beating out Brady Corbett, The Brutalist, James Mangold for Complete Unknown, Josh Akkard for Amelia Perez, and Coralie Fargat for The Substance. I didn't even know that. Wow, that's interesting. The director of The Substance has been a best picture for this long. I literally didn't even know the director's name until this moment. Best actor, Adrian Brody, The Brutalist, beating out Timothy Chalamet. I will always get that wrong. A Complete Unknown. Just like my dad will always say DJ Vance, and I will never correct him. Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing, Ralph Fine. Is it just Ralph? Okay. It's not Rafe? Rafe Fiennes. That's still how I pronounce it. Conclave and Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice. Best Supporting Actor, Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain. This was a favorite, and it's interesting because it's in a Jesse Eisenberg written and directed film, which Jesse Eisenberg also stars in, but I don't think got any acting nods. But I don't know where I'm curious where Jesse Eisenberg is tonight. A part he wrote for someone else, because he had the pick of any part he wanted to play, won someone else an Oscar. I'm curious how Jesse Eisenberg's feeling tonight. I hope good. I love Jesse. Yeah. I'm sorry. I need to be specific. I love Jesse Eisenberg. I love Jesse Plemons. We don't need to go. We don't need to go low. But Jesse Owens. Beating out Yura Borisov in Honora, Ed Norton in A Complete Unknown. This is best supporting the Kieran Culkin one. Guy Pearce in The Brutalist, Jeremy Strong in The Apprentice. Best supporting actress, Zoe Saldana for Amelia Perez. Beating out Monica Barbaro for A Complete Unknown. Ariana Grande for Wicked, who was my pick. Felicity Jones for The Brutalist. And Isabella Rossellini for Conclave. Shout out to Isabella Rossellini. Still in that fucking game. Best original score, The Brutalist, beating out Conclave, Amelia Perez, Wicked, and The Wild Robot. The fact that Wicked didn't win Best Original Score that's an ouchies, isn't it? Best International Film, I'm Still Here from Brazil, beating out The Girl with the Needle from Denmark, Amelia Perez from France, which, that's interesting. It actually qualified. It qualified. Oh, wait. No, it was nominated. It was nominated for Best Picture and Best Foreign. That's... Original flavor. The Sea and the Sacred Faith from Germany and Flow from Latvia. Best cinematography, The Brutalist, winning, beating out Dune, Amelia Perez, Maria, and Nosferatu. Oh, I'm glad. Yeah. Live action short winner, I Am Not a Robot, beating out Aline. Oh, yeah, okay. Dune Part 2 won Best Visual Effects, beating out Alien Romulus, Better Man, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and Wicked. Again, not a big Best Sound, also Dune, beating out Complete Unknown, Amelia Perez, Wicked, and The Wild Robot. Best Documentary and Best Documentary Short. I don't know any of these. If you do, winner Best Original Song is El Mal from Amelia Perez. Wicked wasn't even nominated. Oh, because none of their songs are... Okay, never mind. Best Production Design, Wicked. Okay, finally, the fucking tulips. The fucking tulips. Practical effects still have a place, or practical design still has a place. Beating out Best Production Design. Finally, I was like, finally, Wicked wins something. You know, Brutus, Conclave, Dune Part 2, and Nosferatu. I appreciate they were nominated for some stuff. They didn't have to win. Those are still Oscar-nominated categories. I'm going to finish this out. Best Editing, Honora, beating out Brutus, Conclave, Amelia Perez, and Wicked. Best Makeup and Hairstyling, The Substance. Okay, well, they won something. beating out A Different Man, Emilia Perez, Nosferatu, and Wicked. Best Adapted Screenplay, Conclave, beating out A Complete Unknown, Emilia Perez, Nickel Boys, and Sing Sing. Best Original Screenplay, Honora, Sean Baker, beating out Brutalist, A Real Pain, September 5th, and The Substance. Best Costume Design winner, Wicked, beating out A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Gladiator 2, and Nosferatu. The costumes were okay in Nosferatu. I would have loved to see them win for costume design or visual effects, but the costumes were fine. I mean, it's a period movie and they did great. Best Animated Shorts, I don't know any of these. Best Animated Film, Flow, beating out Inside Out 2, Memoir of a Snail, Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul, and The Wild Robot. That's where we are. This is where we are because this is the end of the episode, and thank you so much for listening, watching, and yeah. Again, shout out to the marching band. Again, rest in. Shout out to David Johansen.